Oh, hi. Hi, John. How are you?
Let's take a moment and make fun of my hair a bit more because I understand. Yes, Beethoven had a child with Loki look is not caught on. Like, but when you go to the salon and you want a haircut like this, the actual term is pet hoarder. That's how they know. But this is John Wick without the Moroccan oil, and I'm proud to look like America's finest goth country singer. So, by the way, with my glasses, have you seen it there with the glass? Fran Lebowitz has a child. That's what it is. It's the bitter East Coast lesbian chic look. This is like, you know what this is?
No wonder I think you're so hot.
Every guy that's ever been arrested on To Catch a Predator, as soon as I put the glasses on. What? I'm doing research for a novel. That's all I'm doing. It's entrapment.
I wasn't making fun of the hair. It's magical. The hair is magical. I love it. You've become my personal comedy Jesus, and we're just sticking with it. Okay.
Oh, thank you, my child.
And by the way, you just grabbed both of your pussies and showed them to us. You have new kittens who are so beautiful.
Not to make it a long story, but it was a weird week. I had a vision come to me saying I have to get a kitten so my beloved cat Bix will have a little friend. The time has come. When my last cat was 11, we got Bix, and it seems like it's the right time. And so Charmian decides, oh, this means I'm going to adopt 2 kittens. And I'm like, what? And then we got them approved in the adoption. And right after that, we found out that Bix had cancer. And it happened really fast. I was in North Carolina when we found out. I got back. And so we picked up the little kittens on Long Island on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, my beloved pal Bix left us. And about an hour before the hospice vet showed up at the house.
Yeah.
And now we have these 2 little horrible kittens. And Charmy thought it'd be funny to get the same breed. So I'm just telling everyone we cloned Bix because they look exactly like
they do. The beautiful gray kids. I know,
but gray rats running around the house.
Yeah, my Fred is 13 and a half, and he has mast cell cancer. So I know and Champ died this week. It's just been It's
you know who's not dying? Donald Trump's pets because he doesn't care for animals.
No,
that's all you need to know about that kind of man.
Okay, so anyway, we shall soldier on.
I'm so sorry about your pups, Steph. I love all your dogs.
I know,
even the ones that have dislocated my arm at the shoulder while walking them in the past. And I love how much,
as you called it, the Iditarod in Central Park. Yes, you took Fred and Max for a
yes,
walk.
I did.
I guess a walk in Central Park.
I still can't throw overhand since that day. Yeah.
And then you loaded my bike back into my car. In the rain in New York to go back.
You have a really good memory. This is everything that happened 10 years ago. 10. It was 10. Right?
Take your organ out for me. Yes. May it rest in peace. My move to New York. Many of our beloved pets. Also our Facebook pages. Let's take a moment of.
Listen, I got to tell you about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Charmian's talking to a guy she knows high up at Facebook this week. I'm now doing inside channels. Because I've tried everything else, but as I think we really coined it.
So have we. Yeah.
Bots and prayers is all Facebook has to do. Here's what I've decided. I'm going to make my page a pro-Trump page that's full of lies, so they'll reinstate it within minutes. Because we know how this duck operates.
Okay. Yeah, I'm telling you, I am suspicious of the whole right. Because you were an administrator on ours because of Sexy Liberal, because you've posted stuff, and so there's right. Conspiracy.
Me and my other fellow administrators were all thrown off of my page.
Yeah.
Frank Conniff just got banned. Frank Conniff just got banned from Facebook for a joke. You know what the joke was? He said every Sunday morning host, if they had Adolf Hitler as a guest, would finish the segment saying, "Well, that was great. Thank you so much for joining us." And for that joke, Frank's been banned from Facebook.
Wow. All right. Well, we're still trying to get our pages back, so good luck to us. We'll check in with each other. Okay. You said I know a lot.
Bribe them the way Biden needs to bribe 2 certain senators. We haven't tried bribery yet. Let's do that.
You tried. Thank you. You are a liberal helper. John Fugelsang on Twitter said, I know a lot about history, so I can tell you this. If Lincoln was president now, he would just hire James Spader and his goons to blackmail Manchin and Sinema because that's how progress gets done. Thank you.
Right? Thank you. And I'm not talking about the blacklist. I mean the guy that James Spader played in Spielberg's Lincoln, W.N. Bilbo. Go watch that movie again. Lincoln used goons to bribe and coerce people. It's the American way.
Is blackmail always wrong, John? I mean, isn't there personal comedy Jesus? Isn't there some wiggle room for getting for the greater good?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of doing evil for good. And let's go ahead and coerce these people, because everyone needs to read the piece in Mother Jones about the evolution of Kirsten Sinema and how she went from being a Green Party activist with a megaphone.
Yes.
To now being Mitch McConnell's favorite Democrat.
Yeah.
And so loaded down with corporate cash, we don't even know what she believes. And again, we can't be too harsh because we don't want these people becoming Republicans. And they could easily flip.
Yeah.
But Kirsten Sinema seems to think she's just kind of like,
Yes, she could easily flip. Being bisexual, who knows which way?
Well, yeah, she knows. She's not. She might be bisexual, but she's proof that you can be bisexual and be confused, because she is trying to be John McCain. And all she's really being is Neville Chamberlain.
Yes, thank you. I'm still stuck on the look at me circus tent dress. Oh my God! I've dated that, John. You know I have.
I know you've dated that. I've dated that too. And listen, I've got a soft spot in my heart for tormented exhibitionists. I think that's great. But not in the Senate. Not in the Senate. No, we've already got one Lindsey Graham. We don't need one on the Democratic side.
And what do you make of this morning? Lindsey Graham is he's in a knickers are in a bit of a twist.
He's out.
Is that what he said? He said, let's see, after hearing what Biden said about linking this small bipartisan bill to the big reconciliation bill, he's out. If he's going to tie them together, he can forget it. I'm not doing that. That's extortion. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, well, Lindsey's the size queen, and he doesn't like how big the certain packages might be.
Okay. But Mitch McConnell's also...
Right. Their whole mission, the entire mission of the Republican GOP is ask not what your country can do for you.
Right.
Ask what you can do to keep your country from doing for others.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's all they serve. They've done nothing for non-millionaires since the earned income tax credit under Nixon. And we have to try to find a way to get our Republican loved ones to admit this.
And John, we were talking about that, they were always right. The pro-military, pro-police. And as you tweeted, someone said, someone tweeted, Joe Biden not only hates cops, he hates our troops too. And you said, Matt Gaetz, defund the FBI. Laura Ingraham, defund the military. Joe Biden, I'm against defunding the police. Then the GOP still, last night, Tucker Carlson called General Milley a pig and stupid.
Yeah. Listen, they are as pro-military as they are pro-cop, and they are as pro-cop as they are pro-life, and they are as pro-life as they are pro-Jesus. These are words they use to get our easily misled loved ones to vote for them, to vote to give more tax breaks to millionaires, to vote to make it easier to pollute. The only thing the GOP is good at is redistribution of wealth to the top 1% and convincing our right-wing racist loved ones that that's a good thing. Like what does conservatism stand for? It stands for blind obedience to a racist reality show clown and owning the libs. There is no ideology beyond that. And if you don't believe me, check out their platform last year.
Yeah.
How are we losing to these guys, Steph?
Well, we're not losing, but it's still...
It's a
lot of my gastrointestinal tract. That's all I want to say.
Oh my God! And your gastrointestinal tract is a lot on the rest of us. But here's what I think we need to do: we need to learn from the Republicans and their 400 Obamacare repeal votes. We made fun of that at the time because it never went anywhere. But what did it do? It solidified the base. It kept the base from being demoralized. It was an ongoing pep rally. And I think we need to start having these infrastructure votes and repealing a filibuster vote every week in the Senate. And let Manchin and Sinema vote the way they want to vote every week. As a recovering Catholic, let me tell you about the power of publicly shaming people for not doing the right thing.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we have to have 70 votes on infrastructure, 70 votes on filibuster reform, 70 votes on voting rights, and let Manchin and Sinema get up there every week and side with the other 50. Believe me, in 2 months, they'll come around. I'm not even kidding.
Public shaming. I'm for it.
Let's do it.
Oh, I think I'm getting one person vaccinated for sure. In LA, my handyman had a guy is not vaccinated. I was like, no, can't work here. Got to go get that. Right. And then some people, John, are, they just haven't gotten around to it yet. They're not necessarily anti-vaxxers. Yeah. Maybe they're being lazy or whatever, but I'm just telling you, we need more sticks. Like, nope, no job. No,
can I tell you? Last month in America, 150 people who had gotten both their shots got COVID and died. 150.
Yeah.
18,000 Americans who hadn't gotten their shots got COVID and died. But I guess we have to wait for the results to come in a bit more, don't we? Come on,
this
man.
Delta variant, John. You have a kid. Well, you tweeted. You were talking about Pence talking about murder in America, and you said 1 year ago you promised us there would be no second wave of COVID. Then 500,000 of us died. Now you try to curry favor with people who seek to hang you. I mean, this Delta variant, John, is. We talked to Dr. Redlener yesterday. It is really a thing, and because you have a kid, I saved this for you. Expert shares how we protect children from coronavirus Delta variant by getting vaccinated.
Yeah.
I mean, you look in UK, in Israel, it is young people that are driving these new surges of COVID.
Yeah, and so all schools in Israel driving it.
Yeah, the Delta variant, in addition to being more infectious, may also double the risk of hospitalization for those who are not vaccinated. We're having a wave of it here in Los Angeles. They're saying, so the variant circulating, the focus has turned to people 12 and older who are much less likely to get vaccinated, and to children younger than that who can't yet get the COVID shot. Experts say we're going to see that children and schools do become more of a focal point of spread as schools reopen later this summer. This is what I'm concerned about, John, this perfect storm. He said, I'm worried about my children and all of our children essentially getting infected and potentially getting long-term effects. We know with COVID that it affects multiple organs and it can cause long-lasting health effects. So I think it's not a trivial disease for our children either. The best thing we can do to protect our children is to get vaccinated ourselves. We as the adult population should all be getting vaccinated so that we can protect those among us who are not able to, children and the immune compromised. If we're living in a community where nearly all the adults are vaccinated, the infection rate is going to be much lower. As a result, all children will be less likely to become ill. That's the most important thing we can and should be doing. And then they talked again about in-person learning this fall. He said, when there are a number of ways we can try to protect children from COVID, still helping ensure they can return to school. One is for older students who are eligible, get their shots, right? If you have someone 12 or older, get them vaccinated yesterday. And then he said, if all the teachers and all the older school students are vaccinated, you don't need masks and distancing to present anymore. Particularly in communities where the transmission rate is low. However, she said many communities are not going to risk it. It's probably prudent for masks and, more importantly, testing to be present too. I mean, John, it's just endlessly infuriating to me that we have this miracle thing and all we have to do is use it, right?
And you know what? The worst thing liberals can do is take this Darwinian approach of this is all explained with natural selection. Like, if you're going to be the good guys, we can't be rooting for the dumb, mean people to just get sick and die off. We have to fight for the people who are afraid of us. We have to be Obamas on this and fight for the racists, fight for their kids too. I would say having a child who's under 12 and not eligible yet, I'm still enjoying the fact that I can get out of any kids party I want to because of fear of Delta variant. I was invited to take the child to Dave and Buster's Arcade today. That lovely place, but a bit of a germ bucket when it comes to saliva, hands, and plastic things.
Yeah.
It is a pleasure to still have a bit of coronavirus to let me say no to things, since I can't turn down people's podcasts or stand-up shows anymore. I played to a packed house in Greenwich Village last night for the first time in a couple of years. Like the city, back. But I'm with you. I mean, like, children are spreading, and we just, it's not over yet. And we run the serious risk of looking like first world Americans if we act too much like it is over. When now,
but I'm afraid we're going to have a disaster in the fall with kids going back to school without adults, not enough adults being vaccinated. Then kids are going to get it and spread it, and it's going to be, another disaster.
Look, Joplin, Missouri's hospital closed down their COVID ward in March. This week, they had to reopen it. It's exploding in southeast white Missouri. Yep. Again, the same people who were preaching herd immunity last year are why we won't achieve herd immunity this year. But let's be grateful for one
Sean
thing.
Just nodded because he's going to Missouri to see his family for the holiday next week.
Tip yourself in hand sanitizer. But at least if Trump was president, we know he'd be calling the Delta variant the Hindu virus. So we have that to be thankful for. He'd be deflecting any way he could.
Yeah. Speaking of religious conversions, Eric tweets, doctors gave Trump a dizzying array of emergency medicines to save his life, from remdesivir to mononuclear antibodies to dexamethasone. After his blood oxygen dropped to 93%, dipping to 80% at one point, they hoped he would get serious about COVID-19. He did not. That's in the new book that they thought he would have a religious conversion, and of course he didn't. Of course he was the same asshole as he went in the hospital.
And Trump was like, in every high risk factor for COVID. I mean, he's old, he's obese.
Oh, there's no way he would have survived if he wasn't president and they didn't go to
He's broke. and he's a person of color. He was in every major risk group for COVID.
All right. I love you, John Fugelsang. I will talk to you next.
Guys.
Oh, not next week. Week after. You'll be here next week with these guys.
Have a great vacation.
All right. Thank you, honey.
I was just in North Carolina last week. Go have a good time.
Oh, yeah. All right. Love you. Goodbye.
God bless
Goodbye.
the dog. Bye-bye, guys.
50 minutes after the hour, this